The holidays are coming, and I think for every immigrant it's a strange feeling around the holidays. The reason I wanted to make this video is because I've been thinking about it quite a lot. As you guys probably know, I'm on my third immigration. I'm originally from Ukraine, then I lived in the UK for 10 years, then 3 years in Canada. We now live in France. I think every immigrant has a very kind of strange feeling around at least Christmas, I want to say. So growing up, we didn't celebrate Christmas on the 25th of December like they do pretty much everywhere else in the world. Our Christmas, an Orthodox religion Christmas, is celebrated on the 7th of January. So it's about 2 weeks after the Catholic Christmas, and it's not quite celebrated the same way as in the Catholic countries. It's more of an intimate celebration with just your families. There's no big parties, there's no big decorations. Most decorations are directed at the New Year's Eve. We, in Ukraine, used to celebrate New Year's Eve. That was like our biggest holiday of the year, like a reset. And I still really love New Year's Eve for what it symbolizes, a reset from the previous year and you sharing and thinking about your hopes and dreams for the following year. I think I still really enjoy New Year's Eve, but if you are living in one of the Western countries, you probably know that the New Year's Eve is not celebrated as much as in Eastern Europe. So this was kind of my first disappointment as a first-time immigrant back in the UK, because Christmas was celebrated so much with such hype. For like a month before Christmas, everything is decorated, everybody's running around buying presents. Then 25th of December happens and it's over. Everybody's dismantling their Christmas trees, the decoration just goes down, and pretty much nothing stays for the 31st of December, 1st of January. And it always made me quite sad. But over the years, as an immigrant, as an expat, with that sheer wave of celebrations of Christmas in England, I started celebrating Christmas on the 25th of December, like everybody else around me. That was kind of my big shock when you move to another country, to adjust to the traditions, especially holiday traditions, because they're covered by everyone in the country pretty much, and not celebrating so much the things that were important to me back in my home country. So for example, New Year's Eve, as I said, wasn't celebrated as much. Then International Women's Day in Ukraine, it was this huge thing. Every woman was carrying at least one bouquet of flowers from work back home. We'd have like these parties at work, at school. It was a whole big thing. Whereas here you can see one little post on social media about the International Women's Day and how women should be supporting women, and that's pretty much it. So again, a big huge shock that a huge day in the year is not at all celebrated, or barely is celebrated, in your new home country. And then you are getting completely enamored by the celebrations of this new holiday that didn't exist for you before. I haven't lived in Ukraine for almost 15 years now, and I have to say now I celebrate Christmas on the 25th of December with our French family. If you have seen my couple of videos before this one, you know that my mom from Ukraine is living with us right now due to the war in my country. And I think she's expecting this huge celebration for New Year's Eve, and we haven't done it in about 15 years. So it's going to be a shock now for her, and it's going to be a bit strange and a bit of an adjustment when the biggest thing is Christmas and then everything is over. I don't know if it makes any sense, but astrologically, I have Gemini as my rising sign, and I relate to it a lot. I find myself being very curious, very knowledge thirsty. So when I am presented with an opportunity to completely jump into a new thing. I'm jumping in. It's interesting to me. I'm getting completely consumed by it. So this whole time, this 15 years, I've been learning about these new cultures in the UK, in Canada, all these huge celebrations of things that were foreign to me before. And now I am feeling a little bit strange, as if I don't know what my personal traditions are, because yes, we celebrate Christmas on the 25th of December with our French family. I've been married to my French husband for so long, so I kind of took on his traditions. And I don't think I brought that many traditions from like my Ukrainian heritage into our family. And now having my mum here, it really shows. Before I didn't really care, but now it really shows that I got quite consumed by other things, and I don't think my family, my children really understand what's my background. And it's not just me. I'm sure that there are so many of you immigrants, especially if you've done it multiple times, you start kind of losing your core, you still have your roots that you sometimes might look back on and think, this is where I came from. But the core is something that you take with you every day of your life, and things that were important to you back then remain important to you now. And I don't know if I have that core, or at least it doesn't feel like it when the holidays are rolling in. When I think about the fact that why am I even celebrating it on the 25th of December? Why, for example, we did not at all celebrate Canadian Thanksgiving this year, because nobody else does, because we're in a different culture. So as an immigrant, as an expat, I feel like because you're surrounded by another culture, you're getting consumed by that culture. And the only way for you to continue with that core and the roots that you take with you wherever you go is to surround yourself with people from that country that has the same traditions. I haven't personally done that because, as I said, I am very knowledge thirsty and I really want to learn and experience new things all the time. That it makes me think, it always made me think that if you immigrate, this is your responsibility to get accustomed with the things that are natural to the place where you live right now. You can bring your traditions, you can still celebrate your things, you can enjoy your food and everything you want, but still you should be respectful to the rules and traditions of your new country. I've learned that in the UK, I've learned that in Canada. I have done even an official course at the Prefecture of Nice to learn about the traditions and customs in France. But then when I even meet somebody from Eastern Europe, it's strange how a lot of us keep the traditions going because we were surrounded by the community of Eastern Europeans, and a lot of us, like myself, I didn't have that many Russian, Ukrainian speaking friends, or not that many from Eastern Europe in the UK, because I was really focused on learning the language and learning the customs and traditions of Great Britain. In Canada, it's all a big pot of people of different nationalities and traditions, and it's all really, really fun, but also there is a little core of Canadian Thanksgiving, Canada Day, and those huge celebrations like Halloween and Christmas as well. So it was all-consuming. I was taking it all in. I'm still in the adjustment process here in France. So the easiest immigration for me was Canada, 100%, because I think Canada is so focused on immigration. Every process was so easy. People spoke the language that I understood. I could manage anything by myself. Now here I completely 100% still depend on my husband to deal with any paperwork and everything. I don't speak French very well. I try to cling on to people that speak English or Russian so I can understand what's going on and they can explain it to me. So I'm still very much in this adjustment process, and I find that this particular Christmas I find myself a little bit lost, because what is the tradition? What is the core? Are we celebrating Canadian holidays? Are we celebrating British holidays? Are we celebrating French holidays or Ukrainian? What is happening? Why is everything happening at the same time, and every country is celebrating them differently? The kids are asking me about the celebrations of Halloween. Why was it like that in Canada and this way in France? You have this mix of all these things that's supposed to be important to you, but because you moved a year ago, it's not important, or it's not important to anyone around you, and you're just sitting there celebrating all on your own. A little bit strange, like celebrating Canada Day when we're all the way in France, when there are no fireworks or the special day, no friends to come and have a barbecue with you and things like that. So this is just me pouring my soul out there and just asking if any other immigrant and expat feels the same way. When you bring your traditions and they just kind of get swallowed by the sheer volume of your new country's celebrations, and that just takes over. I don't feel bad about it. I just feel a bit strange, as in, how am I going to explain, for example, to my mom that no, we're celebrating Christmas 2 weeks before you're going to be celebrating Christmas, and I'm going to celebrate Christmas with you as well. It's all so strange. And then when my kids, for example, will just go to bed at 9 o'clock or 8:30 for New Year's Eve, and everybody will still be here having dinners. I know a lot of my friends who are from Ukraine and live in different countries. Most of them are married to men who are from the same country, so they keep that tradition at least within their family. They don't care what's going on the outside. For their children, for their family, they keep those traditions going. For me, I feel like all of my traditions got completely dissolved as I moved to the UK, and now it's really strange that I don't think my kids have that many Ukrainian traditions. I wonder how you guys feel, because most of the Western world celebrates the same holidays. It's Christmas on the same day. Most of them celebrate Halloween, St. Valentine's Day, things like that, and every country has their own national day, obviously. But those main holidays like New Year's Eve and Christmas, how do you feel around those days? All right, thank you so much for watching and letting me just blabber on about something that's important to me personally. But I know there's a lot of immigrants that watch my channel, especially those that followed us with our move from the UK to Canada, and maybe even from Canada to France. I'd like to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all again next time.